Hi everyone, I'm Viv Mitchett and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Viv's Films, where I explore the wonderful craft of acting. Continuing with the technique study series, we'll be learning about Stella Adler's technique. In this episode, I will discuss who Stella Adler was, her acting technique, and her acting school, the Stella Adler Studio of Acting. Like always, I'd suggest getting a notebook and pen so you can take notes throughout this presentation. To start us off, I have a quote here from Stella Adler. She said, "The actor cannot afford to look only to his own life for all his material, nor pull strictly from his own experience to find his acting choices and feelings." I see this quote as one that criticizes both Stanislavski and Strasberg's methods while inserting a little bit about Adler's technique. Very smart. Stella Adler was an American actress who began her career performing in one of her father's Yiddish plays. She studied in Russia with Konstantin Stanislavski, but found his method too rigid. Upon her return to the United States, she began teaching her own adaptation of the Stanislavski system at the Group Theatre, which you might remember from my video on Lee Strasberg's method acting. She encouraged actors to use their imagination to guide them in their performances. I'll discuss her technique in more detail as we continue. Unfortunately, Adler clashed with others at the Group Theatre and eventually left. Later, she opened the Stella Adler Conservatory of Acting in New York, taught at Yale, and became an associate producer at MGM. Stella Adler's technique varies greatly from the methods developed and taught by both Stanislavski and Strasberg. One of her main criticisms of the Stanislavski system is that the use of emotional memory can be damaging for an actor, and it will never truly belong in a performance of a character. Even Konstantin Stanislavski himself came to doubt his approach. This technique challenges actors to understand what their character's actions are and how they are impacting on the story. For example, if your character is provoking another character, your character will make the other character angry and will thus escalate the situation. Although emotion is important, Adler recognized that it is an effect of an action rather than a cause. The best way to identify this is by specifically labeling in your mind what actions each character is doing and identifying the cause and effect chain reaction in the scenario. This is an important aspect of script interpretation, which is encouraged in the Stella Adler technique. This involves the actor coming to embrace their character and their overall role in the story, which is their life and world. A script is not just seen as words on a page, but a new world created by the playwright or writer and supported by the actor's imagination. So, what are the key principles of the Stella Adler technique? This technique is focused around the development of the imagination, but also promotes personal development. Stella Adler believed that an actor should be inspired to learn by presenting their own ideas and personal point of view with acting as a communication medium. Adler was also a firm believer that actors should rely on their imagination to create a fictional life within reality for their character. Essentially, this is her way of incorporating imagination into the craft of acting. A good example of this is David Hewlett, who plays an egotistical but lovable scientist in Stargate, that is, Dr. Rodney McKay, who is faced with dilemmas that simply do not happen in real life, but his acting incorporates his broad understanding of real-world science and passion for problem-solving into the imaginary situations in the galaxies. I'm not sure if he uses the Stella Adler technique, but David Hewlett's portrayal of Dr. Rodney McKay relies heavily on imagination and other elements of this technique. With that being said, Adler encouraged actors to become connected to the world around them and use elements from their world to assist them when navigating the story of their character and the world in which this character exists. I've called this connection because I believe it's the best way to explain this process of how the actor being involved and active in their world, their culture, and their social world ultimately enhances their acting. A quote which I think brings the key principles of the Stella Adler technique into perspective is this important quote from Stella Adler herself. "The theatre was created to tell people the truth about life and the social situation." Finally, I'd like to discuss the Stella Adler Studio of Acting. For those of you who are really confused, this is the Stella Adler Conservatory of Acting, but it's been renamed several times. This school has many famous alumni, including Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro. If you're interested in studying here, you can visit their website, which is https://stellaadler.com/ and find out more about their wide range of courses. Thank you for watching this video and being patient with me while I work around these technical difficulties. Please let me know what you thought of this video in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, bye!